Welcome to the Deep Dive, AI Brief, episode 285.
It's great to be diving into this with you.
Absolutely. Distinguishing the hype from what's really happening in tech and science is just crucial right now. There's so much noise.
For sure. So our mission here is simple. Cut through that noise and give you the insights you actually need.
Exactly. So today we're diving into some really interesting data. We'll look at where AI investment is absolutely soaring globally, particularly focusing on China's massive push. We're talking over RMB 900 billion.
And we're also tackling a really key technical question. Why some AI skills, like coding, seem to be advancing almost exponentially, while other, maybe softer skills are lagging. We're calling this the reinforcement gap.
Yes, that's a fascinating one. And finally, we have to address that big question, the one causing a lot of anxiety. Is AI actually destroying jobs? Or is the employment data telling us something different?
Right. So let's get into it.
Okay, let's start with that global AI race and specifically the scale of what's happening in China. Just how big is their AI industry right now?
Well, the scale is pretty breathtaking. The market size just hit about RMB 900 billion this year. That's roughly, US $124 billion. And it represents a 24% jump just from last year.
24% year over year. That's huge growth.
It really is. And they now have over 5,300 AI companies. That's almost 15% of all AI firms worldwide. So, yeah, China isn't just a player. It's becoming a dominant global center for this stuff.
Okay, $124 billion, 24% growth. But inside that massive number, where's the money actually going? Is it mostly research, or is it more about practical applications we'd see day to day?
It's actually spread across the whole value chain, which is strategically interesting. The highest growth rate, a really staggering 54% year over year, was in foundational infrastructure.
So things like cloud computing, specialized chips, building out data centers.
Exactly. That area brought in about RMB 310 billion. But the largest slice of the revenue pie, over $500 billion RMB, 566.5 billion, actually still comes from direct applications.
Meaning AI and smartphones, connected cars, smart city projects, that kind of thing.
Precisely. Those application areas grew too, about 13%, but infrastructure growth was much faster.
So infrastructure is rocketing up, but the big money, for now, is still in consumer-facing applications. What does that tell us about their strategy going forward, maybe looking towards 2025?
It suggests they're really building out a mature end-to-end domestic ecosystem. They're not just using AI, they're building the capacity to create the next generation of AI.
And where are they betting next? What are the buzzwords?
Well, the investment trends point clearly towards foundational supermodels, those huge LLMs that underpin everything. And then two major application areas are popping up everywhere: autonomous agents and embodied intelligence.
Embodied intelligence. Okay, that term gets used a lot. For someone listening who isn't deep in AI jargon, what does that really mean? Are we just talking robots in factories?
It includes factory robots, sure, but it's broader. Think AI that exists within a physical form. Could be an industrial robot, yes, or maybe a delivery drone, or even advanced humanoid systems. It's AI learning from interacting with the physical world.
So less about just processing data, more about doing things in the real world.
Exactly. And the investment shows they're aiming to lead in areas like advanced manufacturing, logistics, maybe even elder care, using these physical AI systems.
Okay, that makes sense. But if they're investing so much in these powerful foundational models and infrastructure, why aren't all AI skills improving at the same rapid pace? Why is AI getting amazing at coding, but maybe still struggles with, say, writing a nuanced internal memo?
That's where this idea of the reinforcement gap comes in. It highlights a kind of structural bias in how AI is currently trained.
A bias? How so?
It boils down to the feedback mechanism. Reinforcement learning, or RL, works incredibly well when it gets tons of immediate, precise, and automatically graded feedback. Think pass-fail.
Okay, so let's take coding as the example. How does that feedback loop work there? Why is it so fast?
It's very scalable. An AI generates code. That code instantly gets run through automated tests, unit tests, security checks, you name it. The result is immediate and binary. It works or it doesn't, pass or fail.
Instant feedback.
Right. And that super fast, clear feedback lets the model rapidly adjust and improve for tasks like fixing bugs or writing standard functions. The whole cycle can take minutes.
Okay, that makes total sense for something objective like code. But then contrast that with those softer skills, maybe drafting an empathetic email, summarizing a complex meeting, being a helpful chatbot. Why is progress slower there?
Because evaluating those tasks relies on human judgment. And human judgment is slow, expensive, and subjective. It's what we call reinforcement learning from human feedback. or RLAIF.
So a person has to read the email, decide if the tone is right, if it achieved the goal.
Exactly. And getting that kind of nuanced feedback from thousands of humans just doesn't scale like running automated code tests. It creates a bottleneck, slowing down improvement dramatically in those areas where success isn't easily measured by a machine.
So the takeaway for listeners, whether you're managing teams or developing products, is that if you can't easily and automatically measure how well a task is done,
Then you're unlikely to see that same explosive improvement curve we're seeing with AI coding tools. The system is biased towards measurable outcomes.
which means if you want AI to accelerate a workflow, you need to figure out how to make its success measurable, right? Build those testable pipelines.
That's the key. Recognizing this gap helps you prioritize. If you invest in creating clear metrics and feedback loops, even for complex tasks, you give the AI a chance to learn much faster. It's crucial for competitive advantage, especially in fields like healthcare or finance.
That's a really practical insight. Okay, let's pivot now to the other big topic, jobs. Headlines are constantly screaming about AI taking over. We hear about big companies cutting staff, CEOs issuing warnings. But what do the actual employment numbers say?
Well, the data tells a surprisingly different story, one that really pushes back against that media panic. Recent research, particularly from the Yale Budget Lab and the Brookings Institution, looked closely at the U.S. job market.
And what did they find? We're almost 3 years post-ChatGPT launch now.
Their main finding is that, so far, generative AI has not caused widespread job losses. The overall picture is one of continuity over change, as they put it. The labor market is holding remarkably steady.
Continuity over change. That's a strong counter-narrative. But sometimes big-picture data can hide problems. Are they seeing maybe subtle shifts, like fewer entry-level hires or specific groups being impacted?
They looked into that specifically. For instance, they noted unemployment bumps for younger workers, say 20 to 24-year-olds, but concluded those are typical cyclical patterns, not driven by new tech like AI.
So not an AI effect.
No. One of the researchers, Martha Gimbel, put it very directly. They cannot find any sign that AI is taking people's jobs, at least not yet on a macro scale.
Okay, so cautious optimism seems warranted here. The tech is improving fast, especially in those measurable areas we discussed, but the economic displacement isn't happening at the breakneck speed some predicted.
Exactly. Caution is wise, the tech is still young. But history suggests these big technological shifts, like the PC or the internet, they unfold over decades, not just a few months or years. We need to prepare, yes, but the data right now doesn't support the idea of an ongoing AI jobs apocalypse.
That context is incredibly helpful. Now let's broaden our view a bit beyond just AI models and economics. Science is also making some incredible leaps. What's catching your eye?
Well, one truly remarkable story is in medicine. Scientists just performed the first human transplant of a universal kidney.
Universal? How does that work?
They took a standard type A donor kidney and used special enzymes to basically strip off the blood type markers, effectively converting it to type O, the universal donor type.
Wow. If that holds up in wider trials.
The potential is immense. It could slash waiting times for kidney transplants, potentially saving thousands of lives each year, especially for type O patients who face the longest waits. It's a massive step.
Incredible. And sticking with fundamental shifts, you mentioned something about Saturn's moon, Enceladus.
Yes. Fairly recent findings confirmed new types of organic compounds in those icy plumes spraying out from Enceladus.
Organic compounds. Does that mean signs of life?
It significantly strengthens the case for Enceladus being habitable. You've got liquid water under the ice, energy sources, and now more complex organic building blocks. It's considered one of the top candidates for finding extraterrestrial life in our solar system.
So promising that actual missions are being planned.
Absolutely. Both the European Space Agency and China are developing plans for future landing missions. That shows just how seriously the scientific community is taking the potential for life there.
From universal kidneys to potential life on icy moons. Amazing stuff. Okay, let's bring it back to Earth and look quickly at some AI tools that are actually gaining traction right now. What are people using?
Sure. One gaining notice is Oreate. It's aiming to be that all-in-one AI workspace helping you draft, organize, synthesize information across different projects. Kind of a central hub.
Okay, a general productivity tool. Anything more specialized?
Definitely. For businesses dealing with compliance, Sprinto's AI security questionnaire tool is apparently getting a lot of buzz. It uses AI to automatically answer those long, painful security questionnaires and RFPs.
Oh, I can see the appeal. That saves a ton of tedious work.
Huge time saver. Then for developers, particularly those using JetBrains IDEs, there's Kilo Code for JetBrains. It's positioned as a fast, open-source AI coding assistant specifically tailored for that environment.
Focused on speed and integration within that specific workflow. Makes sense. One more.
How about Video Marketer by Memories.ai? With video content exploding, this tool acts like a Perplexity for videos. It helps you search, summarize, and pull key insights from videos, specifically for marketing research and strategy.
Interesting. So tools are getting more niche, solving very specific problems.
Exactly. Moving beyond general chatbots to targeted assistance for particular professional needs.
Right. We've covered a lot today. The scale of AI investment, that crucial reinforcement gap explaining uneven progress, and the actual data on jobs versus the hype. Plus, some amazing science.
That reinforcement gap idea is really central, though. The bias towards measurable tasks.
It really is. So before we wrap up, here's a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. Reflect on your own work. What processes or workflows could you potentially restructure to create better, faster, more quantifiable feedback loops?
Whether you're coding, managing projects, writing reports, how could you make success more measurable? Because that seems to be the key right now to unlocking AI's faster development cycle for your own tasks.
It's a practical challenge. Where can you build those feedback loops? That's where the immediate productivity gains might be hiding.
Definitely something to think about. Finding those actionable insights is really what we aim for in these deep dives.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us today for this exploration on the AI brief.
It was great digging into this data.
If you found this useful, please do follow us and maybe share this deep dive with others who are trying to stay informed quickly in this fast-moving field.
We appreciate you tuning in.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.